Generally speaking, the only participants in international law are sovereign nation states. One of the very few exceptions relates to the United Nations itself. That exception was demonstrated and confirmed in this case. The matter occurred in the immediate aftermath of the Second World War, when the Zionist movement was pushing for the creation of an independent Jewish state in Palestine, and various Palestinian organisations were working to oppose that outcome. Israel was ultimately proclaimed as a nation in 1949. In 1948, however, Count Folke Bernadotte, a Swedish count, was appointed as the United Nations mediator between the Palestinian and Jewish people. He was in Jerusalem for that purpose when his vehicle was stopped by a Zionist extremist group called Lehi, or the Stern Gang. They fired into the open window of the car, killing the mediator and his driver. The United Nations then had to consider whether any claim for reparations should be made by Sweden, as the nation to which the mediator belonged to, or whether such a claim could be made by the United Nations itself, given that he was in the service of the United Nations when he died, and his service to the United Nations was clearly the cause of his death. The court acknowledged that in many legal systems, different types of organisation can be given legal personality, and that different forms of legal personality might be associated with different legal rights. As a result, they were careful to make it clear that the United Nations was not intended to have all the rights and responsibilities of a sovereign state, but nevertheless the United Nations could not complete its functions if it was devoid of legal personality. The court said, in the opinion of the court, the United Nations was intended to exercise and enjoy, and is in fact exercising and enjoying, functions and rights which can only be explained on the basis of the possession of a large measure of international personality and the capacity to operate upon an international plane. It is at present the supreme type of international organisation, and it could not carry out the intentions of its founders if it was devoid of international personality. In consequence, the United Nations itself is able to bring compensation actions against a wrongdoing nation which inflicts harm or death upon those in the service of the United Nations.